morning, Flosstube. My name is Dawn Marie, and this is my channel, DM's Crafty Vortex. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch and what other crafts I happen to get up to throughout the week. This week is only about the cross stitch. I haven't had much time for any other hobbies this week, and I'm okay with that. I thought I'd start out a little different this week. Normally, I don't do any life updates, but I did ask last time, which was I think about 3 weeks ago, if people like that, liked having a channel that was just the cross stitch. And actually I got a lot of feedback that they do like to hear a little bit more than just the cross stitch. They like to hear about our lives a little bit. So what have I been up to these last few weeks? And bear with me, I am not good at talking about myself. Even though I have a YouTube channel, I can talk about cross stitch all day. Talking about me is completely different. So I'll actually start out with a couple of updates that affect me but aren't really me. I have twin girls. I have twin girls and a son, but my twin girls are on two different paths in their life right now. I have one who just left to go to vet school, so she'll be gone for 3.5 years. 2.5 of the years are going to be out of the United States, which is making mommy a little bit nervous right now. She flew out Sunday early morning and has been quarantined in a hotel for a week, but just found out last night that she gets to leave the quarantine and go get situated in her apartment. She actually started school about a month ago, so they've been online for the last month. Then she had to do a week in a quarantine hotel, and then hopefully she'll be able to go to in-class soon. They are not making it easy, and I understand it's to keep everybody safe, but this is not a year or last year either, to be starting such a big adventure like vet school. But fingers crossed, everything's going good for her so far. And my other daughter is a cosmetologist, so she is well into her career, actually owns her own place, really excited about her adventure in life that she's on right now. And we have recently started a dance class together. And I say we as in we together. She her and her sister I put into dance class when they were very, very little. They wanted to dance. And here they are all these years later. They actually now teach at the dance class, the dance school where they took their classes. The other one who is away at vet school, Diane, taught as well, but obviously she can't do that from out of the States. But Kayla still teaches at dance class, but they also still take classes. And this year I decided to take a class with her. So I am in adult beginner to intermediate jazz. Please pray for me because those turns, I don't think are gonna look very graceful on stage. And yes, there is a recital at the end of the year, so I will be on stage. I don't know what I was thinking, the things you do for your kids. I don't know if that's quite as bad as what I'm gonna have to do for my son, who is now interning to be a tattoo artist. So I have a feeling that I probably also have another tattoo in my future. So there's that. Pray for me on that as well. I'll have to think about what I want and where I'm gonna put it, but figure I let my vet take care of my dogs and cats. My daughter takes care of my hair and I take dance classes with her. So my son, mommy's gonna get a tattoo. Yay. I think that's it for Life Babbles for 1 week. I think I did pretty good. I talked about myself, I talked about my kids, but you know what? When you're this age, kids are what you talk about, right? I did it for almost 3 minutes. So now we get to get into the cross stitch. Since I have seen you last, I actually have a start to finish. So I think they're calling it SAFs, but it's technically not a SAF because I didn't do it all in one day, but I've done it all in one video. And there is a little bit of a story behind this one. It is not what I typically work on. I usually go for bright, cheerful colors, and I like the fancy ladies. I stick with like Shannon, Christine designs. And this is a Blackbird design. I do have a Blackbird design that I am working on for me, but that's because it's my wedding cross stitch that I don't think I've touched since the month of my wedding. But this is Frosty's Night Out Blackbird Designs. and I'm sorry, there's going to be a glare. It's very dreary out. I'm not in my usual cross stitch spot. I'm back in my other spot again. If you notice, I go back and forth between two backgrounds, but my husband is in meetings all day and he works from home. So I had to get a couple of more doors away from him because he can hear me talk through his door and you all can hear him talk through his door. So Blackbird Designs, Frosty's Night Out. And this is actually not a pattern that I chose to work on. My friend Pam, who you may watch from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, is opening a cross-stitch store. She's opening a legitimate brick and mortar cross-stitch store that you can walk into. I'm so excited. There's one thing we do not have enough of is stores that you can go into. I mean, we have plenty of online stores, but actually be able to walk into one and see it is so exciting. It's probably about a 3-hour drive for me, so I wouldn't necessarily call it my local needlework store. However, the closest one to me is still a good hour and a half away. But opening a new store means she doesn't have anything on the walls. And so I told her to go pick something out and I would cross stitch it for her walls. And that's what she picked out. So I felt like I wanted to get this done right away. I want it before her store opens, and it opens, I think, the second week in November. But you can go check out her channel, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, and she talks about it in her opening date. And this is what I have done. It did come out, oh, again, the glare. Let me try and, there we go. It did come out super cute. She chose a D. This D looks a little bit like a B, but it is the D. So there is that, start and finish. And I will give this to her when we go to our stitch retreat in November. I think it's called the Frugal Stitchers. I've known it as Stitching at the Farm, but they keep calling it, or Frugal Yankees. They have another name for it that they use that I'm not quite sure of. But I will give this to her then, and she'll be able to get it framed up, and she'll have a cross stitch on her wall. Then I had what I thought was an almost finish. This is for my Smalls exchange for the stitch retreat in November. And this is, I was so excited when I thought I was done with the stitching, but it's hands-on design. Oh, it has been a while. I'm losing my ability to be a floss tuber. This is stitched on Stonehenge from Be Stitch Me 20 count Ada. And I love this so much that I went ahead and ordered a half yard. I think I'm going to use this fabric for my my linens and threads 2020 sale that I'm going to start in 2022. That's the Quaker one. I have some variegated purple thread that I think will look really good on this. Okay. Back to hands-on designs with this needle ID thread. So again, I'm doing this for my Smalls exchange for the Stitch In at the Farm. I'm going to make the needle book. And I thought I was all done with the cross stitching and that I would be able to get this finished up within the next couple of days. So this is where I'm at. Let me see if I can put something behind it. So here is where I'm at. And I did this on some linen. I don't think I have the name of the linen, but it doesn't really matter what the name is because I made a rookie mistake, and this is the pretty side. This is the plain side. If you're the one who gets it, though, the plain side is still really pretty, and I wasn't going to rip this whole thing out to stitch it over again on the other side. But if you look at the pattern, I missed the needles and thread. So it was like the next day that I was just laying there thinking about it. And I don't have my needles and thread. So today I'm going to work on this, get the needles and thread in, And then hopefully over the next couple of days, I'll get this stitched up into the needle book. And then it will be ready for the smalls exchange. And I don't have this in a bag anymore because, again, I thought I was all done. I put all my threads away. So I'm going to have to go on my thread wall, dig out the threads. I did not use any of the called for thread colors either. Oh, this was stitched on 32 count vintage Sahara Belfast linen. Again, I used the wrong side, so that's not what it looks like. I'm going to have to find my sheet that I also put away with my linen colors, my thread colors, because I did not use the called for thread on this. There was such a little amount of stitching. I know I keep showing this, but it's really one of the only things I've done on linen, so I'm super proud of it. But I didn't use any of the call for colors. I wasn't going to go buy them all for such a small piece. So I did use the red. I had Aztec. Sorry, deleting out a section. I accidentally showed you the chart, which is a no-no. Anyways, I did have Weeks Dye Work Aztec Red, so I used that. But instead of Weeks Dye Work Blackbird, I used Con. Instead of Weeks Dye Work Pepperoncini, I used Gentle Arts Evergreen. And instead of Weeks Dye Work Capri, I used Color and Cotton All In. Oh, nope, instead of Weeks Dye Works Aztec Red, I used Fiberlious Cherry Bomb. I thought I had Aztec Red and Capri, but I just bought them for the Frosty's Night Out pattern, so now I have those colors, but this is done, so I'm not redoing it. This is a hot mess. I apologize. This is why you don't take 3 weeks off in between filming, because you forget how to film. And the next cross stitch I'm going to show you is something I've been working on for a while. Oh, here's the bag it's in. I said before that I'm not showing my bags because I make them all myself. And then I had somebody who said they still want to see the bags even though I'm the one who's making them. This is stitched on an 18 count Aida that I just bought at Michael's probably, and then I dyed it up myself. But this is a stitch along I'm doing on a Facebook group, and it's 21 Halloween cross stitch projects in 2021. So here's the pattern. I think they're on this section. I did really good until here. This is when I finally fell behind, but then I wanted to stitch the Blackbird design, and I was very, very monogamous with that Blackbird design. I did not put it down until it was done. But this is where this is. It's so cute. I really love how it's coming out. My husband has insisted that I actually take the time to frame this because I think all my other cross stitches are just laying in drawers. I haven't actually framed and hung up anything, unless you count hanging up a bag or something that I'm working on. But this is where I'm at with this. I love how this tree's coming out right here. I don't think I'm going to do this bottom section right here. But one, I'm cutting it really close fabric-wise. And I really don't think I love all of this. And this is just to me. I'm really not a fan of orange to begin with. So all those orange pumpkins really just don't do it for me. And it's my cross stitch. So I think once I get these trees done, I'm going to call it good and be happy with it. But I will start on this again now that I have the Blackbird design done. This is a really good take to work stitching because it's just 18 count Aida. I can see the holes. The pattern is, well, it's very detailed. It's also lots of big groups of colors, so you can just sit down and stitch on it. And I keep going back and forth on how I like to stitch, which is why these are all rolled up again. I've taken them out of the Q-snap and I'm stitching in hand again. And I may go back to Q-snap stitching again. I just keep going back. I haven't quite found my niche on what I like. I like the tension of the Q-snap, but I don't like holding I just feel like it adds so much weight, and then trying to get to a section where you can just, when you're stitching in hand, it's just right there in front of you where you want it to be. And then my linens and thread sale, I have actually been doing a great job keeping up on this. They just released a new section, and I don't have the cover. I have the cover page printed. I don't have it in front of me. But, and I've been throwing up this is what it looks like before without actually doing this, but you will see all the before, but you'll know that because you'll have seen them before I even tell you this at this point. This one's pretty easy to tell where it was the last time because it's a cell and it's done in blocks. So here is where I am at right now. I am working on this block right here. So I'm almost done with it. It drops on the 1st of every month, but again, I was working on the Blackbird designs. So, but this is getting, oh, there we go. Isn't that cute? I love how it's coming out, but I'm super excited to start on their 2020 sale in January because, again, hello, Quakers. Who doesn't love a Quaker? And here's the bag that's in. And you can see Q-snap came off. I've been working on it without the Q-snap. And the Q-snap's just hidden because I put pockets in my bags when I make them. I like to have a little back pocket to put the pattern in so it doesn't get all crinkled. Then my 30-minute a day, which again did get put down while I was working on Blackbird Designs, is from Shannon Christie Designs. And it is the Sewing Fairy. I'm very excited about this. I did offer this up for Pam to hang in her shop as well. So she'll own this for about a year before it comes back to me. And this is being stitched on 14 count Ada Ice Blue. And I'm just on the beading. And again, I watched Linda from Linda's Leisurely Stitching, and she's in a Facebook group that does 30 minutes a day. And I decided to jump on the bandwagon. I'm not in the Facebook group. It is a private group, so it's an invite only. Don't go searching for the group. But I just liked seeing how much progress she was making doing 30 minutes a day. So this was my 30 minutes a day, and now that the Blackbird Designs is done, I will go back to this. Although, if you see, the only thing I have left is the wing. So once that wing is done beading, I have all the beading done here and up through here. And I don't know how well you can see that. But I'm very excited about how this came out. I'm going to give this to Pam, have her get it framed for me, and then it's going to hang up in her shop. Oh, her shop name is Stitch New England, I hope. I'm pretty sure. If not, I'll put it down below. But Stitch New England. So that's my Shannon Christine Designs. And I can't wait to get this done. And I don't know if I'm going to start something new or maybe pull out Bellatrix and start working on her. I haven't touched that in a while. And again, just in a bag I made with my pocket. And I'm on the bead, so obviously I'm stitching in hand at this point. And the last cross stitch I had to show is my Hawk Run Hollows. I'm doing Halloween at Hawk Run Hollows. Pam does a Zoom, I think the 2nd and 4th Thursday of every month. So I had been doing this, stitching along with them, and you only have to do a Hawk Run Hollow. It doesn't have to be a specific Hawk Run Hollow, but it does have to be a Hawk Run Hollow. And I've been doing this with them on Thursdays, but Thursdays is my dance class with my daughter. So I was able to catch maybe the last half hour of the last Zoom. And then because I'm not really getting a chance to work on it much, I did bring it with me. I went to the World in Stitches for a stitch day, and I brought this with me to work on for a little bit. I figured being next to Pam, I would do it in place of being at the Zoom. And I do apologize, I left off with a thread hanging, but this is where it's at now. I'm still on the first block. Again, these darker colors really aren't necessarily me, but she talked me into doing a hawk run hollow, so this is what I'm working on. This is where I fell in love with 20 count aider. Even though this is a 20 count even weave, I think, which is a little frustrating with the even weaves because the threads like to slide behind the other threads, which I'm not used to when I'm on the aider. But I do like the look of it, and I like the only using one thread. I saw a video, and I don't remember where. I can't even link it below because I didn't save it, but they showed how to do a single strand loop start, which is pretty cool. Because that was the thing I didn't want to give up going to one strand, was doing my loop start. But that single strand loop start works really well. I'm very excited about that. That is it for the cross stitching. Plans for this week is I do want to finish the hands-on designs with this needle ivy thread. And I keep looking over there. I'm sorry, that's where all my cross stitch is. So I look at that, and I should be looking at you. I have a new start that I want to start, which I will show you in my haul portion. And let's just get on to haul. So this is going to be a new start. And again, this is something I'm going to donate to Pam for Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. It's my Home in the Garden by Hello from Liz Matthew. So here is this. And I have all my threads. I am going with the DMCs. And I have my fabric. So I'm all ready. This is all kitted up, ready to go. As soon as I finish the Smalls Exchange Small, because I'm getting close to a deadline on that. I got my Fiberlious Yummy Fibers, and I'm really sad that this is my last month, so I won't be getting any more, but I really want to get some 20 count aider, and she's not offering that up right now. So this was Rustic Fall, and this is 32 count Lugana. So look at how pretty that color is. And I got the thread pack, Remember the Fall. So there's the thread pack. And we have pumpkin pasties, pumpkin spiced latte, autumn mosaic, fallen leaf, and a dance of autumn. Look at this one. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. And I did sign up for the Be Stitch Me fabric of the month because she did offer the 20 count aider. And this is after the harvest. Let me take that out. So there's that. Look at how pretty that is. It'll be interesting to see what next month looks like because I went with the the dual. So 1 month is the, I don't know what you call it, the neutral, and then the next month is the color, and then so I'll be bouncing back and forth. So I started out the first month with the neutral, and then we'll see what the color looks like. Then I was watching Stitchin' Mummy, and she is starting a sale with a friend, and I absolutely fell in love with the pattern. So I knew I needed to get it immediately, but I thought I also wanted to start a sale with a friend. So I bought it. This is The Time for Myself by Soda Stitches. Look how pretty that is. I like how she shows the different colors, but I want to do this as a stitch along also. So I bought 2, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. If I'm going to offer the second chart up as a giveaway and have the person sell it with me, but then, you know, I don't want to do a giveaway and tell somebody they have to start a cross stitch at a certain time, or if I'm just going to reach out to somebody and see if they want to sell it with me and then send them off the second pattern. So we'll see. Not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I just love that. She's cross stitching or doing embroidery. One of them. Isn't that so cute? But I didn't have time to think about it because I don't have time to start that right now. And then, as I said, I was at the World in Stitches, and I was doing some stitching with a friend for the whole day, and they had this. Look at that. It's perfect. Pumpkins, but purple, because I like pumpkins, but I don't like orange, and I love purple. Purple is my favorite color. So, really excited about this. I think I will stitch this up next fall. And then I got Glendon's Place Phantom Plantation because, hello, Halloween. That's so cute. I don't need any more patterns, but yet, here we are with more patterns. And then if you go to my wish list on 123 Stitch, there's even more. I have now fallen in love with Cinderella Rags to Riches from Joan Elliott. And it's funny, I look at the pattern and I have no desire to do it. And then I watch Needlecraft_Danny on Flosstube, and she's working on it. And I see it, and it is absolutely beautiful. And then I go to buy the pattern, and it does nothing for me. And so I don't actually hit the order button. And then I watch her again, and it's just so beautiful when you see it on the actual fabric. And then you just see the picture on the chart, and you're like, eh. But then I watch Danny again, and I think I'm going to bite the bullet because obviously I love it on the fabric, which is where it's the most important. So, got some more of that. I have a couple of stitchy boxes, and I have a Forbidden Fiber Co. box coming in the mail that's lost somewhere out in the land of the Postal Service. I haven't gotten yet, but I'm not going to show it here. I haven't decided yet. I haven't been doing a daily unboxing. I'm just too busy with work to open the everyday in video, but I think at the end of the month, maybe I'll do one great big unboxing. What do you think? Would you be interested in watching an unboxing of an entire month of Halloween Advent, or do you think that would just get tedious after the second or third one I open? Let me know below. I haven't decided yet, but if people want to watch me unbox them, I absolutely will. If you just think it's really something that people aren't going to be interested in, then I'm not going to waste my time doing that video. But I think that is everything I have to show for today. So until next time, happy crafting.